Today, we're going to turn this crate into a weathered looking dartboard backer. Let's break it down. I'm picking the nicest of the bunch here because they're going to be the most visible. And then I bring them to the miter store station and I'm going to cut them down. There are 3 horizontal braces that will be attached to the back of these boards to keep them all together. And this was my attempt at trying to keep everything square, and it did not work. Something moved on me and I didn't realize it till after the fact. It wasn't too much of a problem though, I just ended up cleaning up the table saw. Next step is to cut down some strips that we're going to be using on the sides and on the top of this, so to kind of close it up and make it look nice. Alright, stupid mistake here, not a big deal, but I should have done the roundovers before I went to the miter saw in case there's a little bit of tear out at the ends here, but everything worked out okay. But if you're going to do this, you should probably do this part before you miter the ends off. This last piece that I'm installing is the bottom of the board, so it extends a little bit further than the other pieces. Now, I made a mistake here too, because I'm going to attach this, and after the fact, I'm going to realize it would have been a lot easier if I would have first drilled 3 different holes for my darts to sit in. But I'm going to end up doing it now, but it was just a little bit harder. I had to rig up a little jig like this to get the holes perfectly spaced. But it worked out fine. What I really wanted to do is I wanted to use some kind of reclaimed wood, something that looked weathered, and I didn't have any of that. So what we're going to do is take this wood now and we're going to make it look weathered. And to do that, you're going to need some white vinegar and some steel wool. Now you want to try to get the finest steel wool you can find. And you're going to try to cut it up or shred it up in the jar. And then you're going to fill it with vinegar. and you're gonna let it sit. And I'm gonna let mine sit for about 4 or 5 days. The longer you let it sit, the more it's gonna eat away at the steel wool. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna be able to use that vinegar, which is gonna create a grayish tone on the wood later on. This is what we have after 3 coats. Notice these here are darker than most of the rest of this. The reasoning for that is because this wood has more tannins in it. All wood has tannins, depending on the type of wood it is. Some wood has more, some wood has less. The more tannins it has, the more it's going to react with our steel wool vinegar solution. Now I could keep going and just keep adding more coats, and little by little I'll get more of that gray tone to it. Also, another thing to consider is you could wait longer with your solution. The longer that steel wool sits in that vinegar solution, the more it's going to break down and the more potent it becomes. I waited about 4 days. I could have waited 2 weeks and probably gotten a little bit more of that gray out of there. But that's completely up to you. I like the way this came out, so I'm just going to stop here. I hope you like this build, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. There's a whole bunch of other projects at my channel page. Feel free to check those out. And if you do like what I'm doing, please feel free to subscribe and hit the bell icon, and I'll let you know when I post new videos. Thanks again, everyone.